Hello friends, I am Krishna Kumar. Today I am going to discuss about an important topic in anthropology. This is primate behavior. So this is very important topic in anthropology. In this topic we will study about social behavior. Right? Social behavior of primate. Social behavior of primate. And here when I am talking about primate, it means we are going to understand about social behavior of prosimian, monkey, ape and man. These are the four important members of primate. So basically in primate behavior we will study about social behavior of these four members. These are the four members of primate. But in these four members, primatologists mainly focus to study about social behavior of non-human primate. These three: social behavior of prosimian, monkey and ape. And on the basis of study of social behavior of prosimian, monkey and ape, they try to understand about evolution of social behavior of our early ancestor. So primatologists mainly interested to study about social behavior of non-human primate like prosimian, monkey and ape. But question is that why primatologists are interested to study about social behavior of prosimian, monkey and ape? So they try to understand about evolution of social behavior of early human ancestor. Because we study evolution of man. This is very important aspect in anthropology. We try to understand about evolution of man on the basis of fossil remains and on the basis of genetic data. But we have limited sources for the study of evolution of social behavior of our ancestor. So basically primatologists try to understand about evolution of social behavior of our ancestor on the basis of study of social behavior of prosimian, monkey and ape. Because we know that ape or chimpanzee is our closest relative. Human evolved from ape. So if human evolved from ape, if there are close similarity between human and ape on the basis of their physical feature, on the basis of their genetic material, on the basis of fossils remains, so it must be some similarity in their social behavior between human and ape, between human and monkey, and between human and prosimian. So primatologists try to understand about evolution of social behavior of human being on the basis of a study of social behavior of non-human primate. So primatologists have been studied about social behavior of non-human primate on the basis of fieldwork in their natural environment. So fieldwork method is very important for the understanding of social behavior of non-human primate. But this fieldwork method is quite different from fieldwork method applied in socio-cultural anthropology, right? Always remember that, always try to understand fieldwork method is core method for the understanding of anthropology. So primatologists do fieldwork in non-human primate like prosimian, monkey and ape, and on the basis of that study they try to understand about evolution of social behavior of human being. So they give focus about some important point related to their social behavior. First is sociality, samajikta, sociality, right? Second, mother infant relation. Right? Third is dominant hierarchy. Dominant hierarchy. Next is sexual behavior. Sexual behavior. Next, affiliative behavior. Next, communication. And next, tools. Right? So these are the important aspects related to social behavior of non-human primate. When you try to prepare this topic, try to give attention about this important aspect related to social behavior of non-human primate, right? These are very important for the understanding of social behavior of non-human primate, or also for the understanding of social behavior of mankind. So first important thing, sociality. Primatologists said that sociality is the fundamental adaptive behavior of primate. Sociality is the fundamental adaptive behavior of primate. सामाजिकता प्राइमेट के बिहेवियर का आधारभूत तत्व है. This is the fundamental thing when we try to understand about primate behavior. Because primates are social animal. They live in a social group. So why they live in a social group? Why sociality is the fundamental adaptive behavior of primates? We are also social animal, right? So what are the benefits of sociality? What are the benefits of living in a social group? We have to understand about that. If we want to understand about the social behavior, if we want to understand about primate behavior, we have to understand about what are the benefits of sociality, why they are social animal, why they are behaving as a social animal, क्यों सोशल ग्रुप में रहते हैं, क्यों इनमें सामाजिकता पाई जाती है. It has some benefits. First important thing, if you try to understand about the physical feature of primates, and those primates who live in a forest, dense forest area where there are many tiger, lion, like meat eater animal lived. So if animal live in a social group, they can develop effective defense against predator attack. जब आप सोशल ग्रुप में रहेंगे, ग्रुप एफर्ट लगाएंगे, then you can develop effective mechanism for defense against predator attack. So first important thing for survival of primate. For survival of non-human primate, they live in a social group because that social grouping develop group effort against predator. और इस कारण से sociality is the fundamental adaptive behavior of non-human primate for survival in the natural setting. Second important thing, if animal live in a social group that enhance their food gathering capacity, they can't survive without food. Food is basic requirement for the survival of any animal. Non-human primate enhance their ability for the collection of food, for food gathering, and they enhance that ability on the basis of social grouping. And therefore they are living in a social group, they are behaving as a social animal. Third important thing is that when we live in a social group, that enhance our learning capacity, because children generally imitate about the behavior of their elders, and learning is very important aspect of social behavior of primate, because primate children depend on very long time on their parents. So they learn about the behavior, how to save from predator attack, how to communicate, how to gather food, how to behaving according to social rule and regulation, how to behaving according to their social dominant hierarchy. And therefore, if animal live in a social grouping, they can enhance their food gathering capacity, and therefore primate live in a social group. Fourth important thing, if you want to understand about the benefits of social grouping, so that social grouping, living in a social group, give a better opportunity to child caring, child rearing. And lastly, primatologists found that enhance about their reproductive success. Reproductive success is very important for the survival of any animal, and therefore primate live in a social group, and therefore sociality is the fundamental adaptive behavior of non-human primate as well as human being. Right? So first important thing, if you want to understand about primate behavior, you have to understand why primate live in a social group and why sociality is fundamental adaptive behavior of non-human primate, because they survive through social grouping. They enhance their capacity against predator attack. They enhance their capacity to collect more and more food, that give more opportunity to learn behavior, that give more opportunity to child caring, and that enhance reproductive success. इवन की रिप्रोडक्टिव सक्सेस भी इससे बढ़ेगा, जिसकी चर्चा हम करेंगे. sexual behavior में, right, that they give more opportunity to make sexual relationship with suitable partner. So primate live in a social group, and sociality is the fundamental adaptive behavior of primate. Second important thing is mother-infant relation, right? Try to observe about the relationship between mother and child or their infant. That relationship is more strong relationship in primate member, even in human being. माँ और बच्चों का जो संबंध होता है, जो बॉन्डिंग होती है मदर एंड इन्फेंट के बीच, वो बच्चे और फादर के बीच नहीं होते हैं, राइट? सो देयर आर ए स्ट्रॉन्ग बॉन्ड बिटवीन मदर एंड इन्फेंट इन प्राइमेट्स. व्हाई देयर आर ए स्ट्रॉन्ग बॉन्ड बिटवीन मदर एंड इन्फेंट? क्यों माँ और बच्चों के बीच इतने बेहतर रिलेशनशिप होते हैं, इतने बेहतर स्ट्रॉन्ग बॉन्डिंग होती है? Why? What are the basic causes behind that? So, if you study about primate characteristic, you found that primate has long gestation period and long maturation period. दो चीज़ important ध्यान में रखना है. Primate has long gestation period and long maturation period, right? And therefore primate depend on their mother for their survival very long term after their birth, and that they make very strong bond between mother and their children, right? And therefore if you try to observe about primate behavior, even if you try to understand about a social relationship between mother and children in human being, you can find that that is more a strong bonding, that is more a strong bonding in human being, more strong relationship between the member of human being. No any relationship more stronger than relationship between mother and their children that make biological bonding, sentimental bonding, psychological bonding, and therefore when Jane Goodall, therefore, so when Jane Goodall had studied about social behavior of chimpanzee in combinational park in Tanzania, she found that उसने पाया कि किस तरह से एक माँ अपने घायल बच्चों को स्पेशल केयर कर रही है चिंपांजी में, और मनुष्य में तो हम देखते ही हैं, राइट? तो सोशल बॉन्डिंग बिटवीन मदर एंड इन्फेंट आर वेरी स्ट्रॉन्ग इन प्राइमेट, दैट are very strong due to their biological feature, and that make social relationship very strong, sentimental relationship between mother and children, not only in human being, but that sentimental relationship also found in prosimian, monkey and ape also, right? So this is also very important aspect related to primate behavior. Third important thing, dominant hierarchy, right? Dominant hierarchy. Try to understand about that term, dominant hierarchy. It means particular member has higher rank in their social group due to their ability to collect food or to compete for sex partner, right? Means that the male are more able to collect food, to gather food, and also more able than other in competition for sex. But what are the role of this dominant hierarchy? Because primates live in a social group. So once you try to understand about more than 20 primates are living in a group, so it may be possible they may be fighting with each other for food or sex. So how can that social group control over these types of social behavior, these types of struggle among their members? This is very difficult task in animal being, right? In human being, social control done on the basis of our social rule and regulation, or that they maintained on the basis of mechanism of law and justice in our society. लेकिन non-human primate में how to control? So that they controlled on the basis of dominance hierarchy. Once hierarchy established in their group, so their member follow that hierarchy. Jim Goodall found that if dominance hierarchy established in a group, then that reduce a struggle among their members. But once that hierarchy is breaked, that create violence among their member, and therefore that the dominance hierarchy do very important role for control of social behavior, control of the behavior of their member in non-human primate also. Then you have to understand about sexual behavior. This is very important for the understanding of social behavior of primate. Sexual behavior, this is very important. If you try to understand about the social behavior of man, you can find that the role of sexual behavior is very important, because formation of marriage, family, kinship, even our economic activity, division of labor, all things integrated with our sexual behavior. बिना सेक्स का कुछ नहीं है, right? Sex is necessary for our survival. So when primatologists study about sexual behavior of primate, they found that in primates, sexual selection, the role of sexual selection is very important for survival of animal. So the sexual selection, so the process of sexual selection, how to select their mate, हम कैसे सेक्स पार्टनर को चयनित करते हैं ह्यूमन बीइंग में on the basis of our social rule and regulation. But how non-human primates select their sex partner? Because the role of sex is very important, because here they live in a social group. So the role of sex is also important for social grouping, right? The role of sex is also important for the establishment of dominance hierarchy. The role of sex is also important for the development of a strong bond between mother and infant. So try to understand about the role of sex for the understanding of social behavior of primate. So in primate, sexual selection or strategy for the selection of mate is different in male and female, right? Different strategy followed by female and male. Even in human being also, if you try to understand about the social selection or sexual selection in human being, we found both male and female have different sexual strategy for the selection of our sex partner. अलग strategy है, right? Male, their sexual behavior, they follow aggressive sexual behavior. Aggressive sexual behavior, try to understand. हमेशा पुरुष जो है सेक्स को लेकर बहुत ही एग्रेसिव होता है, राइट? और अगर सेक्सुअल बिहेवियर को सोशल रूल और रेगुलेशन के माध्यम से कंट्रोल नहीं किया जाए तो व्हाट हैपन? दैट क्रिएट एनार्की इन ह्यूमन सोसाइटी, राइट? So we control our sexual behavior on the basis of our social rule and regulation, but what happen in non-human primate? क्या होता होगा? तो नॉन ह्यूमन प्राइमेट में सेक्स पार्टनर को सिलेक्ट करने के लिए मेल जो है, मेल के बीच कंपटीशन फॉर establishment of dominance. Try to understand that thing. This is very important. मेल के बीच कंपटीशन होता है अपनी डोमिनेंस को स्टेबल करने के लिए. कंपटीशन फॉर सेक्स, कंपटीशन फॉर फीमेल. They are fighting among the member of their group फॉर फीमेल. ये मनुष्य में भी दिखाई देता है. जब आप देखेंगे कि अधिकांश टीनेजर के बीच जो झगड़े होते हैं, मेल टीनेजर के बीच, कॉलेजेस में, स्कूल में, उसके पीछे ये कारण है. दे ट्राई टू एस्टैब्लिश देयर डोमिनेंस. वंस डोमिनेंस स्टेबल इन ए ग्रुप, then dominant male or alpha male has right to make sexual relationship with all female in his group in non-human primate. I am talking about non-human primate. It may be possible in early stage of human evolution. That was present in human being also. So here male try to establish their dominance. Why they try to establish their dominance? Because female sexual selection is different than male, right? Even in man also, sexual selection, the process of sexual selection in female is quite different from male. Why female follow different sexual strategy than male? Try to understand about the result of sexual intercourse. What are the result of sexual intercourse? क्या होगा? सेक्स का परिणाम क्या होगा? सेक्स का परिणाम प्रेगनेंसी और प्रजनन होता है, रिप्रोडक्शन. So these are the two important result of sex. First, ultimate result of sex is pregnancy, and then that resulted in the process of reproduction. So female bear the burden of all burden of sexual intercourse. ध्यान ये रखना है कि फीमेल generally female is choosy for her sex partner. They are very selective, even in man also. So why they are very selective? So result of sexual intercourse, that are pregnancy and reproduction, that all burden bear by female. स्त्री उठाती है उसके भार को. So in the time of pregnancy or at the time of reproduction or after reproduction, she required more protection, and therefore she is very choosy. So whose they want to choose as their sex partner? So generally it is found that female give preference to dominant male, right? She give preference to dominant male as her sex partner. Why she give preference to dominant male? Why she gives preference to dominant male? So primatologists found that dominant male may be give more sexual satisfaction, right? Dominant gene may be transmitted in next generation through sexual intercourse between female with dominant male. Dominant male can give more protection to that female, more possibility to get food, and dominant male can enhance about food security of female, right? And that enhance reproductive success. So these are the basic causes related to that female want to make sexual relationship with dominant male, right? ये मनुष्य में भी है ना? मनुष्य में भी अगर फीमेल अपने सेक्स पार्टनर को चयनित करने की आज़ादी फीमेल को दे दिया जाए तो वो जनरली डोमिनेंट मेल को ही प्रेफर करेगी एज सेक्स पार्टनर, राइट? बट इसके लिए फीमेल क्या करती है? व्हाट फीमेल हैज़ डन फॉर मेकिंग सेक्सुअल रिलेशनशिप विद डोमिनेंट मेल, राइट? क्या करती है डोमिनेंट मेल को प्राप्त करने के लिए? सो प्राइमेटोलॉजिस्ट फाउंड दैट देयर आर सम रिसिप्टेटिव sexual behavior in female. Female try to attract male, मेल को attract करती है फीमेल डिफरेंट तरीके से, राइट? और इसके माध्यम से वो सेक्सुअल रिलेशनशिप बनाती है डोमिनेंट मेल के साथ. दिस इज प्राइमेट बिहेवियर, राइट? और इस तरह का चीज़ मनुष्य में भी पाई जाती है. जब आप मनुष्य के सेक्सुअल बिहेवियर को देखेंगे तो आप पाएंगे कि मेल का सेक्सुअल बिहेवियर एग्रेसिव है, जबकि फीमेल का सेक्सुअल बिहेवियर सेलेक्टिव है और वो ज़्यादा अलर्ट रहती है, क्योंकि सेक्सुअल इंटरकोर्स का जो बर्डन है प्रेगनेंसी के रूप में और प्रेजेंट के रूप में और बच्चों के लालन पालन के रूप में, ये काम जो है प्राइमेट में जनरली फीमेल के द्वारा किया जाता है, राइट? और then affiliative behavior, right? Means in primate we found love, affair, sentimental relationship with member, not only between mother and infant but also between young male and young female. These types of love affairs not only present in human being but also present in non-human primate. We got grooming, and primatologists believe that affiliative behavior or social grooming is a social cement in non-human primate. That is a social cement that make their group more and more strong, and therefore affiliative behavior present in non-human primate also. And lastly, communication So, non-human primate does both verbal and non-verbal communication for sending and receiving their message. So, this is also very important when you try to understand about their social behavior. And last thing is that tools. Sometimes they use tools. When Jane Goodall had done a study in chimpanzee in Kombe National Park in Tanzania, she found that sometimes chimpanzee use tools. So there is some possibility to development of culture in chimpanzee, and because human being is a cultural animal, so we have some unique physical feature by which we are capable to make culture. So we are doing biocultural adaptation with our environment, but non-human primate doing biological adaptation with their environment, biosocial adaptation with their environment. So these are the basic things related to social behavior of non-human primate, and on the basis of that we can understand about evolution of social behavior of our early ancestor, because when Jane Goodall had studied about the social behavior of chimpanzee, she found these types of social behavior. And Diane Fossey, when studied about social behavior of mountain gorilla, she also found these types of social behavior. So on the basis of that case study, you can better understand about the development of social behavior of primate. So this is social behavior of primate.